Today, we embark on a thrilling journey into the life of one of history's most controversial figures, Adolf Hitler. Love him or hate him, his story is one of dreams, failures, ambition, and power. From a small boy with big dreams to a man who changed the world forever, this is the tale of Adolf Hitler like you've never heard before. Are you ready? Grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into this incredible story that will not only improve your English, but also keep you hooked until the very end. Chapter 1. The Birth of a Boy in a Small Town. It all began on April 20th, 1889, in a small, quiet town called Braunau, located in Austria. A baby boy was born to Alois and Clara Hitler. They named him Adolf. At the time, no one could have imagined that this little boy would grow up to shape the world to its core. Adolf's childhood was far from extraordinary. He was just like any other boy, curious, playful, and full of imagination. He loved spending time outdoors, drawing pictures, and dreaming of a big future. But life wasn't perfect. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict and demanding man. Alois worked as a customs officer and wanted Adolf to follow in his footsteps, to study hard, get a government job, and live a stable life. But Adolf had other plans. "I want to be an artist," Adolf would tell his mother, Clara. Clara, a kind and loving woman, supported her son's dreams. She saw the spark of creativity in him and encouraged him to pursue his passion. But Alois was unmoved. "Art is not a real job," he would shout, his voice echoing through their small home. Adolf would stay quiet, hiding his tears, but deep inside, he felt a growing resentment. Adolf's relationship with his father was strained. The two often clashed, with Alois pushing Adolf to conform to his expectations. These fights left a lasting impact on young Adolf, shaping his stubborn and rebellious nature. When Adolf was just 13 years old, his father died suddenly. Some might have thought that Adolf would feel a sense of freedom, but instead, he was left with a deep sense of loss. The hole in his heart only grew larger. Chapter 2. A Boy Lost in the World. After his father's death, Adolf's life took a turn for the worse. He began skipping school, losing interest in his studies. Once a good student, he became lazy and unmotivated. His teachers would say, "Adolf is smart, but he doesn't care." All he wanted to do was draw. When Adolf finished school, he packed his bags and moved to Vienna, the capital of Austria. Vienna was known as the city of art, and Adolf was determined to make his mark there. "I will become a famous painter," he thought, his heart filled with hope and excitement. But reality hit hard. Adolf applied to the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts, a school that could make his dreams come true. When the results came, his heart shattered. He was rejected. The school told him, "Your work is not good enough." Adolf was humiliated but refused to give up. He tried again the following year, but once more, the school turned him away. Devastated and without a plan, Adolf's life spiraled into hardship. He lived in tiny, dirty rooms and sometimes slept on the streets. To survive, he painted postcards and sold them to tourists for a little money. But it was never enough. Why is life so unfair? He often wondered, his anger and frustration growing with each passing day. During this time, another tragedy struck. Adolf's mother, Clara, passed away. She had been his only source of love and support, and her death left him feeling completely alone. Adolf's grief turned into anger, and he began to blame others for his failures. "It's not my fault," he would say, his bitterness taking root. Chapter 3. The soldier in the war in 1914, everything changed. World War I broke out, and Adolf saw an opportunity to give his life meaning. He joined the German army, eager to prove himself. "Finally, I am part of something big," he thought. Adolf was a brave soldier. He carried messages across dangerous battlefields, risking his life to fulfill his duties. His courage earned him 2 medals, and for the first time, he felt a sense of purpose. But in 1918, Germany lost the war, and Adolf was furious. "Our leaders betrayed us," he shouted, his anger boiling over. He believed that Germany needed someone strong, to bring it back to power. Chapter 4. The rise of a leader after the war, Adolf returned to a Germany in chaos. The country was poor, hungry, and angry. Adolf saw this as his opportunity. He joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party. Adolf was a powerful speaker, and when he spoke, people listened. His words were full of anger, passion, and promises. "Germany will rise again," he declared. Adolf worked tirelessly to grow the party, which he later renamed the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazi Party. He designed their symbol, a red flag with a black swastika, and declared this will become the most powerful symbol in the world. Adolf's speeches became legendary. Thousands of people came to hear him speak, captivated by his vision of a strong, united Germany. But his ideas were dangerous. He blamed certain groups of people for Germany's problems and promised to make Germany great again by excluding those he deemed unworthy. Chapter 5. The Chancellor and the Dictator. By 1933, Adolf Hitler had risen to power. He was chosen as the Chancellor of Germany, the country's top leader. At first, it seemed like a new beginning. Adolf promised jobs, a strong military, and a bright future. The people trusted him, but they didn't know what he was planning. As Chancellor, Adolf made sweeping changes. He built roads, factories, and schools. More people got jobs, and Germany began to look strong again. The people were happy, and many called Hitler a hero. But behind the success, Adolf had dangerous plans. He controlled newspapers, radios, and schools, ensuring that his message was the only one people heard. Those who disagreed with him were punished or sent to prison. Adolf created a powerful army called the SS and a youth group called the Hitler Youth. He trained young boys to fight and spread Nazi ideas. The swastika flag became a symbol of his power, and his speeches grew even more powerful. "Germany is the best," he would say. "We will rule the world." Chapter 6. The war and the Holocaust. In 1939, Adolf made his boldest move. He ordered his army to invade Poland, starting World War II. His dream was to take over all of Europe and make Germany the most powerful country in the world. At first, his army won many battles, but as the war went on, things began to fall apart. While the war raged, Adolf carried out one of the darkest chapters in human history, the Holocaust. He wanted to remove all Jewish people and others he deemed unworthy from his vision of Germany. Millions of innocent lives were lost in concentration camps, a tragedy that would forever stain his legacy. Chapter 7. The fall of a tyrant. By 1944, Germany was losing the war. Adolf's enemies, the United States, the Soviet Union, and Britain, were too strong. Bombs fell on German cities, and the people who once called Adolf a hero began to lose hope. Adolf became paranoid, trusting no one, and spending most of his time hiding in his bunker. In April 1945, Adolf married his longtime girlfriend, Eva Braun, in a small ceremony in the bunker. Just days later, on April 30th, 1945, Adolf and Eva took their own lives. The war in Europe ended shortly after, and Germany surrendered on May 8, 1945.